from the oldest city in the USA, St. Augustine tonight.
You've done television too.
Yes. Nanette and I co-hosted the morning talk show out of New Jersey, WERA, from 6 a.m. to 10 a.m. We were opposite Imus and Howard Stern, and I don't think anybody ever heard us. And I had
Okay.
Yep,
All
broke
right.
the law, so I had to go to the big house. And while I was in there, you know, I got in touch with, you know, the way things operate in there, you know, the realities and, you know, the madness, the killings and the abuse and the corruption. And I spent a lot of time in confinement myself. And what better thing to, you know, pass the time back there than draw? You know, I'm an artist. You know, I would find anything to draw on, and I would just, you know.
And in confinement, they don't let much in there. So how did you get your supplies?
Stamps.
Stamps.
So, and I fell in love with guitar inadvertently, and that was how I discovered the subterfuge piece, where I could go for hours into another world.
Another world. And tell me, when you look at your music, and I know I bring artists here and I box them in, I mean, what would you say is your genre, if any?
That's always been a difficult question, and I don't really have a clear answer for you because I still honestly don't know.
And does music have a political side to it?
Of course. We need to bring more people into our music scene.
Okay.
When we first got here, you know, the scene would be fine without us. We'd still have a huge music scene. This is a city that's 12 square miles in size. Compare that to, and I'm not comparing it to Nashville. I mean, Nashville's Music City, but Nashville's 525 square miles. We've got 12 square miles. We've got over 100 music venues that play music day and night, every single day of the week.
Just depends. Everything's different. You know, some things I help produce and I cover. Some things I just attend and cover.
Of all the things you've covered, which one you think was the most fun? I mean, no, let me ask you this question first. About how many things have you covered?
Oh gosh, I don't know, 100?
Oh my God.
Maybe, you know, over a couple of years, it adds up quick.
Definitely. Now, you play other instruments other than the guitar?
I do. I play cello and piano. And so that's my...
Do you remember the first song you learned on the guitar?
Dun, 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 Malagueña.
Malagueña.
Yes,
oh,
yes,
I
yes.
love that
but
song.
It's funny, my mom taught me.
Wow, that's
And
almost
so,
classical,
yeah,
yes.
But I only know the first bit, but I'm so proud of that first bit.
Over the hills and onward back, past the trees and the Cadillacs.
What's happening in England, London is doing it, Russia is doing it, and now all over the north of England is happening. They have these cafes where you go and eat and you pay by the minute. No lie, and they're popping everywhere. It's about 9 cents a minute. Your DNA.
It's there.
Can you remember the first time you sang in front of a group of people?
Yes, I sang Paper Moon by Natalie Cole.
And how old were you?
I was 3. So it was 1989.
Wow, 3-year-old and singing that song.
Yeah.
What is it about singing that makes it so special?
It's the best. Statistically, singing is the happiest job you can have.
Huh.
If you look, the
Didn't know
top
that.
100 happiest jobs, singing is the job where you just get to go and express yourself, and you get to hold the microphone, and it feels good.
Wow. We're back for another fabulous show. Like, we got a real big show for you tonight. Hey. all the young bloods I know say, what is that? What is he doing?
Somewhere along the way, I shifted from singing to conducting as my focus and as my course of study. So I'm a conductor really by training. I did play the trumpet. I played the French horn. As a music education major in college, you know, I dabbled on just about everything. Keyboards, I'm not a great piano player, but you know, you learn a little bit along the way, certainly, because it's a useful tool.
So the First Coast Opera, what season is this right now? How long you guys been doing
First
this?
Coast Opera has actually been in existence. We just finished our 17th season.
Oh,
yeah.
Now vodka is made from grains, it's made from potatoes. This one's made from?
Sugarcane.
Sugarcane vodka.
Absolutely.
You know? Amazing. This is made from sugarcane, and it does. You feel that if you drank, I grew up in the Caribbean, so we're exposed to dark rums, and yeah, you know, there's sugarcane there. It's absolutely marvelous. And then this here is?
So this is our rum.
Another? Yes, the rum.
Yep.
There, and they have all of the old record stores, and you go and
the things you find in those records.
Rod Stewart has a jazz album, okay, but no, young Rod Stewart, like 19 years old, he recorded a jazz album. I was like, wow, that's cool. But yeah, I found that they love jazz. I was, you know, big as a house, you know, singing torch songs in little bistros and stuff, in awesome. Europe, and it was a very, very wonderful time in my life.
I never claimed to be perfect. I struggle and feel the strain, but don't you worry, baby, I've got plenty loyalty. Whenever you need me, I'll be there.
In the good news, we have that a guy in London has just figured out to operate a double-decker bus with coffee grounds. Could you imagine a city like London smelling like coffee everywhere you go? What do you think is the most challenging thing for you in that kind of line of work?
It's interesting. It's two different worlds. It's the music industry, which is fickle, and there's a lot of personalities, and a lot of
Madonnas.
And then there's the county government side of it, and those two things. I mean, it's kind of a square peg in a round hole sometimes trying to operate, but we figure it out. We got a great crew over there, and we're just all we solve problems a lot.
Wow. Of all instruments, now you're starting to play the ukulele. You know. If you had time, would it be any other instrument that you'd like to learn?
No, that's more than enough.
That's more than enough?
I'm not him, no.
Well, your things are all string.
I like to have a life as well.
Yeah. But your things are all string. If you had the time to learn another instrument, would there be something that you would want?
Oh, God, no.
Let him not bring a tuba in the bedroom. No.
We have instruments in every room in our house.
I don't know. Maybe a piano. Maybe I like a
piano.
big
Well, it is a beautiful.
The little turnip top did the backwoods flop. The cabin tried to shimmy and he could not stop. Little Red Bean shook his feet and the watermelon died from the cockeyed heat.
That's right. We're back. We're back. We are back in one of the coolest places here in town, the Lincolnville Museum and Cultural Center. And slowly it's becoming more of a cultural center than a museum. I don't know. From the beginning, it was the piano? That was your instrument?
It was all about the piano in the beginning.
Really?
Yes, absolutely.
What was it about the piano? Why wasn't it the guitar? Why wasn't...
I just couldn't stay away from the piano. I started at 5 years old. I just loved the piano.
Wow, you started young.
But I loved to sing, and I would sing with the choir at school. I never thought of myself as a soloist, but just as a choir singer. I love singing in the choir.
And I came across one of those marble composition notebooks.
Yes.
And it was poems that my mom was writing, and you know, some really.
It's like finding her diary.
That's it. Yeah, really deep stuff. And so at that point, I kind of viewed my mom a bit differently. You know, here is a poet, someone who was not just a mom.
I really started getting down to my cats, the Otis Reddings and the Sam Cookes and the Wilson Pickett's.
That's such
and
a
all
great era.
Oh, that's the. Whenever I would do those tunes, I'd drop in the dock of the bay. everybody was paying attention. You know, it's like, okay, there's something to this. You know, and then started thinking about it. The reason that is because that's the music that was in my house. My mom and my dad, my grandparents, all they played was all that 50s and 60s soul stuff and early rock stuff. So now it's the best stuff, man. What'd you say?
Keep them coming.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Even doo-wop, I remember.
All that stuff, man. The Drifters, the Platters,
yes.
all that music, man.
Only you.
This guy.
That is awesome.
You want to sing?
I did my first solo at 10 years old.
Wow, do you remember what it was?
It was a dance to the Pink Panther theme. It was a cane dance, and it had floor work in it, and it was quite an experience because they were supposed to stop my music at one point.
Right.
They were supposed to stop the music, and they did not. So I was on the stage in the spotlight at 10 years old, and the music continued. So I had a big decision to make. Either you wing it, or you run off the stage and cry in the back room. And so I decided to wing it. So I made up the whole routine, and I think that's what has led me to find a love of improvisational dance.
Were you with music at a very young age?
I played in a band at 18 years old back at Bradenton.
Oh, wow.
A rock band.
A rock band?
Yeah.
And your instrument was?
Was the bass.
The bass?
Yeah, I was a bass player back then.
You still play the bass then?
I do some.
But now you're playing what usually?
More the guitar.
The guitar?
Yeah.
What do you find in the guitar that you didn't pick up a tuba? Why the guitar?
Well, I don't know. I just it kind of became more of a necessity because I got into writing songs, and so I always played from the beginning writing songs. I wrote songs for that band too.
I hear that a lot.
And so I played guitar to write songs, but then I played bass in the band. So
I hear that a lot.
Yeah.
People say that's the instrument to write. That and the piano.
Yeah, that and piano, I would say.
To write songs, you know, slowly, surely putting it all together. Very interesting.
But we pick up instruments all the time.
Okay.
So
and
he may still play the tuba.
It's a boy bird.
This is a red-shouldered hawk. A little explanation for your viewers. I am a licensed master falconer. You can't just go get a bird of prey and look, cool, like the movie you were talking about. It is very arduous to become a falconer. First off, this bird is a wildlife rehab bird. Mohawk, if you'll notice, I don't know if your camera is picking up, only has one eye.
Yeah, he has one eye.
He has been at Hawk. I was able to use this bird. If I give Hawk, the Humane Association of Wildlife Care and Education, a good plug, hawkwildlife.org. Give them money. They help the animals.
So what's your big love? Theater or singing?
That's a tough one, man. That's a real tough one. If I often say, like, if I won the lottery, what would I do? And I know my answer is perform, but I don't know if I would do more musical theater, or if I would do jazz. Yeah, because I love theater. It's my childhood, you know. So I have a love for musical theater. I had someone ask me the other day. It was Danielle. You had her on the show, right?
She was on.
She said, "How could you do the same thing 8 times a week? 8 shows a week."
Right.
And I don't know. I love it. It's like a routine,
Right.
But it's like a kid's routine. They need the same thing every day. That's what I thrived on when I grew up. I just loved it. Every day at 4 o'clock, I would take a bus to my dad's office, take a nap, and then 8 o'clock, I would do a show.
Right.
And to this day, that's still my routine. That's
Watch out for flying glass, 'cause honey, this is it, this is it. Oh, I was walking along, minding my business. Love came and hit me in the eye. A flash, bam, alakazam, wonderful, you stopped by.
Yes, yes, we're almost alone, but we are under the circus tent. Romans. Yes, this is fantastic. This is our special edition show. We're here with the circus performers and us, the Tonight Show, the St. Augustine Tonight Show. You feel that energy when you're performing? You feel the energy of the people? You know, does it make you better or kind of?